the electric hum and rhythmic clatter of an aerotram station. Yellowed grass blades wave in the wind like beckoning fingers. In the distance, Portofiero's old rocket silo bores into the soil, a void outlined in concrete. And inside them, the records related to the Project Autonomia. Something tells you it won't get much better inside. Your footsteps crunch along the dirt and gravel. An old billboard, half collapsed into the dirt. A faded illustration dominates the frame. In one corner, a jumble of text and diagrams cling stubbornly. Amid graffiti and peeled paper, two figures point at a space rocket climbing towards the sun. The scene is awash in still vivid red and yellow. The couple's faces, although half erased, radiate pride and awe. A lettering on the man's t-shirt, although barely legible, reads, "Todos somos Nestor." Down below, glass towers lean over cobblestone streets and emerald parks, where hibiscus, plumeria and jacarandas bloom in impossible abundance. Every path bends towards a luminous dome, glowing like a promise. A vision of a future stillborn. A message to Portofierans, attributed to sweet Nestor himself. It begins with a proclamation. Behold, here stands the future of Portofiero. A desolate expanse of half-built concrete shells and narrow streets wind into nowhere. No planned space for greenery either. No building was ever finished other than the silo itself. Here grow the seeds of our collective glory. Soon our peat tract will bloom and Portofierans shall grasp the firmament together. See not foundations but the dawn of triumph. See not construction but a long overdue historical correction. Prosperity and autonomy beckon. Children not yet born are already grateful. The developed world will gawp at our triumph. Mourn not the past, for what awaits is our destiny. Nestorismo to the stars. Next to the old ruler's words, a graffiti reads, Traidorismo. Another reads, Boca de mierda. After the rocket exploded live on the world's television screens, sweet Nestor made bold televised speeches blaming foreign hands. By the time he boarded the helicopter that would ferry him to exile, he'd accused at least half the developed world of engineering the disaster. If the story were that simple, Houseman would have no interest in it. The date reads, Deuteros 75. Amid the half-eroded paragraph, the words destiny and historical correction endure, as if untouched by time. Portofino would have become one of the big boys of the developed world. Inevitably, it is reflected in the grandeur of his space program. At present, such grandeur belongs to but 3 nations: Capablanco and Son, and the Kingdom of La Plage. The sole members of the Post-Orbital Club, high status, high funds. The Luz has never acknowledged the existence of any official space program. Everyone else simply assumes they have one. Stage separation events and plum signatures were observed 14 times above Lusian airspace in the past decade alone. First to reach orbit, with the Cosmo Future Initiative's inaugural launch in 51, Capablanco followed in 54. By then, the superblock had close-up photographs of the lunar surface. Portofino could have shared in the people's glory, had Nestor not spread-eagled for foreign bankers. On the billboard, the rocket is forever committed to the horizon. Nothing has exploded yet. Nothing has failed. The bushes sway in the breeze. The decaying panel groans. Here grow the seeds of our collective glory. Soon our P-Ol tract will bloom and Portofino shall grasp the firmament together. See not foundations but the dawn of triumph. See not construction but a long overdue historical correction. Prosperity and autonomy beckon. Children not yet born are already grateful. The developed world will gawp at our triumph. Mourn not the past, for what awaits is our destiny. Nestorismo to the stars. The bushes sway in the breeze. The decaying panel groans. All around you, the vegetation of the P-Ol tract slowly triumphs over the follies of men.
You here for the copper? If so, you're late.
Skin burnt pinkish, hardened to elephant hide by exposure to the city elements. Strong and unhealthy, a life form that would refuse to die if you crushed her.
All the copper has been claimed. Yes, all of it. Yes.
A giddy smile creeps into her face, like she's outsmarted you.
You can't have copper, but if you want, you can help me. I can pay you. Yes, I can pay you well.
Suddenly, she reaches into the pockets of her shorts and pulls out fistfuls of crumpled bills.
False money. Here. Have some, have some.
Your hands close upon a mass of hard, crumpled paper. The scent of 100,000 grubby hands and the insides of cash registers. The fibrous toughness of paper indissoluble in water. There is nothing false about that money. You've waded into a trap. You don't know how or what kind. but nobody gives away cash like this for nothing.
Yes, false money. Keep it. I have more.
She pulls out further fistfuls to demonstrate. A few bills roll away, but she doesn't even seem to notice. This is more money than you've seen since you arrived in Portofino. The role's subject dissonance is too much. Your brain is incapable of processing it.
Subcomandante Bagman has already shown us that money is worthless. But if you like it, we can trade. Yes, copper for money. But I keep all the copper. I used to buy into the reality trap. Houses, yes, kids, family, food, all a trap. Spend false time working to make false money. A bad joke. Subcomandante Bagman made me realize this. Yes, two of them and a husband. And I thought I loved them more than life. But then realized there is no life. Need to focus on breaking out of reality.
Somewhere in the streets of Keysok, a well-to-do teenager grips his little sister by the hand and scrutinizes the face of every beggar, every outcast squatting by a canal or hobbling through the alleys, wondering if, maybe...
The younger one, 5 years. The older one was an illusion I sustained for 9 whole years. Aha, Juan was his name.
This is what remains after you have ripped out all attachments by the rue.
No, you're right. He never was, aha, never. Nor was I. They don't exist. I don't exist either. You. I doubt you exist. But who am I to say?
Pointless to wonder. Best to still yourself and carry on regardless. There's nothing to contemplate here. Just the ramblings of a mad woman.
Real estate. Buy house, sell house, add money, remove money. Hilarious when you think about it. Yes, I was winning at the game of life. Bad game. Prize for winning more of the same. Not living, trying to break out. Aha, yes. Many of us suspected. Gnawing feelings late at night. But nothing to do with this feeling. Have you ever noticed the thing about time? Subcomandante Bagman made me notice this. Yes, changes everything. Stop, right now. Look at your clock. Is it moving?
Your brain recoils from the question with the terror of a Paleolithic huntress wondering what lies beyond the horizon. You do not want to touch the edges of your world.
A second? Or a sentence? Look more closely. They say time flows, but does it flow? Or does it stutter, skip, jump ahead? Jump.
A minute passes.
Jump.
Another minute passes.
You are not understanding the thing about time yet, but you are close. Yes, I can tell you are close. As long as we are inside false time, everything is part of the reality trap. False time reinforces reality. Escape false time, escape reality. Then we will know. Then we will see. The Revelator, the Brown Phantom, host of the reality situation. Watch him. Then you'll see. Then you'll understand.
She laps from the same pool as Malin's father, who got himself kidnapped after hearing about the phone that makes people disappear on this same show. Miss Bagman is the fibre of the web connecting all paranoia in Portofino.
The reality situation plays every single afternoon. You should watch him, at least once. Aha, yes. He has helped me strip myself of many illusions. Just as time is false, if you watch him, soon you will realize more and more things are false. Almost everything.
Strip enough illusions away, and you will be left with nothing. Not even the barest trappings of personhood.
Subcommandante Bagman freed me. He can help free you as well. I can see you are trapped too, yes, in the most shallow illusions. Hopefully you understand. Many watch him, very few understand him. Why?
Something flares in her eyes. The same sheen of keen paranoia, brightened threefold.
You are thinking of going in there? Down there? Very few go down there. Fewer still from curiosity.
Insane, but not a fool. She intuits some other purpose.
Breed, yes. Of course. You know what is down there, don't you? The things they breed in the darkness. Dolphin-human hybrids. A tortured species originally bred for deep space exploration. Abandoned as inviable.
You look into her eyes. She's not on anything chemical, but nor is she sober. This is a different kind of high.
So they say. Go and find out. I'll wait here, see how you fare.
She really wants you to explore the silo for her.
Yes, remember. You bring me copper, I give you false money. You'll like it. You're back. What now? You have copper for me?
Nothing happens until it does. The Huntress balks. The fear inside her is the germ of that which one day will become religion, an intuition of powers existing beyond, outside her world. With every passing thought, with every passing action, time passes. There is no flow to be experienced, only a stillness punctuated by moments of action. We could prolong the stillness forever. But if you do anything, even think about the stillness, then it jumps forwards without you even noticing.
Yes, I see you are noticing the thing about time. False time. After that, nothing is the same. Nothing can be real. Aha! Watch Bagman. The reality situation. I can make you notice things. He can explain.
The huntress kills a boar, but instead of eating it, she sets fire to the massive corpse and watches the smoke ascend, an offering to the superstructures which she can only conceive of as gods.
Reality is very addictive. When you kick it, you feel sick for days. Yes, remember. You bring me copper, I give you false money. You'll like it.
Your muttered litany is carried away on the wind. You return to the all around you.
You're back. What now? You have copper for me? Let's see. Aha, yes. This is good metal. Take it. Take the false money.
The crumpled bills bounce off your chest. You catch some. The rest fall to the ground. You pick up the loose bills and unfold them, one by one. She doesn't even look at you, rapturously examining the copper springs. You've never been paid in a more degrading way.
You want more? There is always more. Bring me more copper, and I will give you more. Aha! You say you're not a scavenger, but you are a good scavenger. Yes, very proficient. Fool! It's all false. 0 plus 0 is still 0. Here, fool.
She's like a bottomless well. Shake her and more will come out.
I am close, yes, very close to completing it. Bring me one more. One more piece of copper, and we will break out of false time. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, this is all I need.
An insane sun rises from behind her eyes. You know it in your gut. You have done a very bad thing.
Take it all. We won't need it anymore. No, we won't.
A queasy feeling comes over you as you gather up the piles of loose change. Somehow you know she is right. Where you are going, money will not help you.
Just wait. Wait there. 6 hours, yes, and I will have built it. Ha ha. 6 hours. Aha. Tomorrow, she says. Tomorrow.
An odd, slight peal sounds when she moves, like distant bells or the jangling of construction rods. Over her shoulder, you suddenly notice that in the sky, dusky just moments ago, is now pitch black.
Look. Take my hand.
Danger! Don't touch! Your skepticism runs dry in the face of a real trepidation. Her leather hand clamps shut upon yours. You feel nothing. If you expected a surge of energy, a rush, that is not where this was going. And yet...
Look at your clock. Welcome to true time. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, this is all I need.
An insane sun rises from behind her eyes. You know it in your gut. You have done a very bad thing.
Take it all. We won't need it anymore. No, we won't.
A queasy feeling comes over you as you gather up the piles of loose change. Somehow you know she is right. Where you are going, money will not help you.
Haha. Yes, yes. Enjoy your false money. Just wait. Wait there. 6 hours, yes, and I will have built it. Haha. 6 hours. Aha. Time, she says. No time.
An odd, slight peal sounds when she moves, like distant bells or the jangling of construction rods. Over her shoulder, you suddenly notice that the sky, pitch black just moments ago, has begun to brighten with the first rays of dawn.
Look. It's not a hat, but nice, yes, nice. It is nice. Take my hand.
Danger. Don't. Your skepticism runs dry in the face of a real trepidation.
Aha, fool. Interested only in the banal things. What do you want? Yes, remember.
Hello there.
The musicians raise their beers to you in greeting. Scaffolding creaks beneath them. Gravity beckons. These people are like human dowsing rods for architecture that wants them dead.
Hello, you. How's dear little bonfire? Hello. Do you see it there?
I see it on. Looks very well. You look well, Bomb.
The hand on its oscilloscope twitches in recognition of their voices. Durr downs his beer and tosses it overarm into the cylindrical dome below. A few seconds later, you hear it crash.
It's nice to see you again.
Ah, spectacular of you to ask. We're tossing bottles into this hole.
Oh, we're not.
If we're quite anything, it's good to pretend it.
First, it was just for fun, but then we figured, based on a feeling of general speculative interest, that if you threw enough bottles down there, then eventually one of them would make it out alive.
Statistically possible.
And then this bottle, supposing such a bottle exists, would certainly be a lucky bottle, possibly the luckiest conceivable.
So then it became a quest for a lucky bottle, or the end of our beer supply.
Whichever comes first.
Then I hope we find it.
Though you should prepare yourself existentially for the possibility that we do not. You, my friend, are far too afraid of structures.
You have the fear of structures in you.
Overcome it.
As you wish.
Rocket Asylum.
She means our bottle tossing hole.
Oh yes, forgot that's what it is. Failed space rocketry, yeah. I'm not getting into any of that.
Nor me. Sorry, our friend. We aren't compelled. If it's false, then you can do with it as you wish.
A beer bottle flies out of her hand and into Fate's.
Precisely. You could do this or anything. Not a concern at all, really.
Ask them.
We don't recall.
Been on an excitement-induced bender since the Palace of Culture. Under the scaffolding down here. Nice zone. Cozy.
Certainly.
Great. Almost finished.
We're still perfecting the new lyrics.
Maybe you'll hear it on the radio before long. Bye.
Metal shudders and groans beneath your feet, reverberating downwards. Red lights fade into nothing. Abandoned, dusty, throated by concrete. Hundreds of steps, winding, disappearing into pure darkness. As the null entity lured you into an obvious trap. Far below, a rhythmic thumping, organic maybe, and is that the smell of sweat you detect? A small measure to fend off the encircling dark. You look at the metal between your feet, a square grid that cannot contain the emptiness that surrounds you.
Now that's a stride. That's a grand stride. Right there. Up and down 6 times. Could go another 10, I'm sure. Oh, hey, bud. Now, how'd a friendly face like yours end up here? Now, what you want to do is a bit of urban exercising. And take it from me, this is the best place to do it. Best stairs in the city, right here. Down and down they go. Greatest stairs I ever saw. You ought to give them a try.
As you consider the stairs, a beer bottle clangs against the railing, smashes. The old man laughs.
You know, it's nice to have company. Good chinwag helps stimulate metabolic ignition. Not at all, bud. Good to see the youth getting out, practicing their overarm toss.
You hear a whoosh and a crash as another bottle falls to its death. Must have been very unlucky indeed.
Aha! Hear that one? Went straight to the bottom. Excellent aim. Beautiful place, isn't it? I come here regularly. This here's the perfect spot to run mitochondrial apoptosis drills. Nicely observed, bud. See, concrete's great for radial gut flow optimization. Plus, all the empty space helps with glucose reverberation. No better way to torch all that nasty glycogen. Really. I am practicing full-spectrum autophagic cardio-incineration. Pump up the heart rate until weak organelles and grief proteins burn right up. Full somatic reset just by running. Okay, that's how you make the voices go quiet. Get rid of those, and the 4th aperture opens wide. Makes you appreciate beauty all over again.
Hardly anything he said makes medical sense. It barely makes linguistic sense.
That's the tip of the iceberg. You also need to worry about your lymph nodes, face here, adrenal glands. It's why the body needs constant attention. As the saying goes, pain is just the body flushing out stories it shouldn't have been told. That's from the tough cycle full system flush. Sweat, cry, piss, shake, ascend. No wonder you're hoarding emotions in at least 6 zones. I'm a bit worried about you, bud. You remind me of the old me back when I was working. And that's no way to live. No way to live at all. A Afraid I can't help you, bud. I usually run down and come right back up, but I'd assume it's one of those doors further down. Slumped thoracic spine, for one. That's grief pooling in the vertebrae. You're a bit pale, too. Capillaries holding on to despair. But the biggest problem's obvious. It's your lungs. You're dealing with a lot of anticipatory shame, aren't you? That stuff pools up in the alveoli.
If only. There's plenty of past shame too.
Situation's worse than I feared then. I hope you don't take umbrage at my words, bud. I remember the days when bad thoughts slipped in right through the weak fiber.
Does this fool doubt the resilience of the people's respiratory tract? That's how we make sense of the world. There's no need to fall for it.
I understand. I spent many years in the throes of denial myself.
This is an old man coping with existence by clinging on to a nonsense routine. Let it be. So he insults your psyche as well.
I'm glad to hear it. Of course, if you have any doubt, we could put those to rest with a little sprint around the loop. The top floor, when you come in, that's the loop. No gadgets, no props, nothing but raw athletics. You tell me when you're ready to run. I was an interzonal man right up until 81. Consultant class, 2 decades in foreign hotels and meeting rooms, harmonizing standards for partners, getting Portofino ready for the big leagues, you see. Joining the developed world at long last. Decades of work. Sweet Nestor set it all in motion. One could say it's still in progress, but I had a small part to play. Oh, I noticed. Bags under the eyes, awful complexion, vending machine died, I'm guessing. For me, that all ended when I heard Rim Tough speak.
No need to be childish.
An athlete, author, visionary, found one of his discs in my hotel room. Figured it was junk, something to fill the silence. That's when I heard. You don't have a buddy. You are a buddy. I started doing lunges across the carpet, right then and there. I kept listening, and that's when it happened. I smiled. It sure was. Funny thing is, it didn't feel new or anything. Keep you moving, you'll be fine. We'll all be fine. Hey, bud.
Diagnostics complete. Ligaments primed, heart rate nominal, joints lubricated. Adrenaline and dopamine surge initiated to maximize propulsion, awaiting signal. Oh, yes.
Ready, steady, go!
Warning. Vertical drop ahead. Torque and acceleration throttle due to survival drive. Provide vocal input to engage. Ultimate overburn. Run. Complete. Desired performance achieved. System switch into reward mode ++. Enjoy the endorphins.
Stupendous stuff, bud. The speed, the leap. Sure. But the magic's in the keeping on, isn't it? To keep being stubborn against the world. Keep you moving, you'll be fine. Well, I'll be fine.
Whatever light that slipped in from above has nearly drained away. You're entering the abyssal zone now, and your thoughts darken accordingly. In a windowless room far below, a thing crawls out of its tank. Slick grey skin over limbs too long, webbed hands. And on its back, a blowhole. A being with the strength of a bodybuilder combined with the echolocative powers of a cetacean. They do too. They've been terribly lonely down here. Soon, they'll shamble out of the dark to greet you, flippers outstretched in blubbery welcome. Focus, operant. You'll hear for the records about Project Autonomia. Get in, get out. The air grows cooler and mustier with each level you descend. There are many, many levels still to go. The shelves stand before you, expectant. You stand before an archival shelf. This one is labelled G. Its metal bays overflow with sagging dossiers, loose memos and soft-buckled binders. Your fingers skip across the brittle tabs. You comb through dozens of documents. It is slow, monotonous work. Until your index finger instinctively alights on a thick maroon folder. On its cover, a seal dulled to black, and a title, Proyecto Autonomía. Your jaw tightens, your molars grind against each other. Concentric circles, with words curving around the edges. Post-mission report, 77. Old wax flakes under your finger. Hundreds of heavily redacted sheets, an executive summary, various logs, telemetry, personnel files. A brief survey of the document aligns with what you know. In 77, Portofino attempts to launch a manned weather satellite into orbit. However, within minutes, redacted T+763, redacted. Vehicle, redacted. Crew, redacted loss. Redacted, critical, redacted. A note here indicates that while the explosion was visible from the ground, no sound was heard given the distance. That holds. Nothing would be audible beyond 20 kilometers. The post-flight review suggests critical engineering faults led to the unscheduled dissolution of the spacecraft. No other details. For a moment, you're back in that classroom, staring at a great plume of smoke on a small screen, rising and rising, until the feed abruptly cuts out. The entire crew is marked lost. Their names and positions are included on the next page. 1. Commander Esteban Roque, Flight Operations. 2. Lieutenant Ilya Markov, Payload Oversight. 3. Lieutenant Naira Cilia, Comms and Telemetry. 4. Dr. Juno Avre Straniak, Psychologist and Neurocognition Analyst. One of these things is not like the others. Dr. Straniak's responsibilities are listed as maintaining crew morale, ongoing performance management, and evaluating cognitive stress. Horrifically vague, yet ominous. Here's a thread to pull at. In the weeks before launch, he conducted multiple psychological evaluations of his fellow crew members, which are included here. The assessments are grouped and associated with each member of the crew. Commander Roque's self-worth tied to performance. Lieutenant Cilia exhibits maternal anxiety pattern and clings to her position as caregiver. While Dr. Straniak has concerns about Markov's dissociative tendencies, he suspects the trait may ultimately be beneficial. According to the remarks, enter in sustained, prolonged host-reception state during which minimal autobiographical bleed-through is preferable. This isn't any psychology you recognize. It's all esoteric neuroscience and qualia. Across all three assessments, the language is strikingly consistent. He rates each of his colleagues for narrative identity, perceptual decoupling, and emotional flattening. The doctor circled his last name twice and wrote below it, Grenzen sind Illusionen, alles sich zurück. Boundaries are illusions. Everything looks back. It's the motto of the Polytechnic University of Treffe, one of the most advanced and controversial experimental psychology departments in the world. At the bottom of the page, a note. Additional notes may be found in Appendix D, AZK-11/05-J. Launch sequence begin. T-minus 10 seconds pre-ignition. Systems nominal. T plus 0 seconds ignition. T plus 85 seconds max Q passed. Telemetry is steady. T plus 150 seconds main engine cut off. T plus 155 seconds stage separation confirmed. T plus 160 seconds second stage ignition. A jagged cathedral, wreathed in smoke and flames, quivering against a bruised sky. Luminous, immense, doomed. Eyes meet across the cabin, the same terror and wonder reflected as metal screams around them. T plus 243 seconds, readings remain optimal as the vehicle ascends. T plus 260 seconds, redacted. T plus 271 seconds, redacted. Orbital velocity is typically achieved at the 8-minute mark. They weren't even close. T plus 292 seconds, reception lost. Wait, something's not right. Didn't you see a number that went much higher? You flip back to the executive summary. There, buried among redactions. Redacted, T plus 763, redacted, redacted. Vehicle, redacted, redacted, redacted. Crew, redacted, redacted, loss. Redacted, 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 critical, redacted. A difference of almost 9 minutes. Tucked in another page's corner, among unlabeled indices and hundreds of references, a table of timestamps. Plus 848 seconds, redacted, redacted, redacted. Plus 1,987 seconds, redacted, 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 redacted. Plus 1 day, 1 hour, 12 minutes and 34 seconds. Redacted, redacted, redacted. And at the bottom of that list, plus 12 days, 21 hours, 53 minutes and 33 seconds. You stare at the sheet, questions swirling. By the final timestamp, a footnote pointing to a document. See SUP Housekeeping and Transmission Storage, HKT-04/17-E. It must be here somewhere. You go over what feels like every folder on the shelf. Nothing matches the reference ID. The other shelves around you seem to lean in, as if expectant. You let the old shelf be. You approach 2 large archival shelving units labeled B and C. Pressed close together, they sit on recessed rails. According to these labels, shelving unit B consists of additional appendices, while shelving unit C is devoted to housekeeping and transmission. Here you go. This is where the old Spies reference ID pointed you. The exposed side of shelving unit C is nearly empty. Just a few emaciated folders and spiral-bound reports. If what you're looking for is still down here, it must be on the other side. They're too close together. You shine your flashlight beam into the narrow gap between them, but all you can make out are rows and rows of angular silhouettes, full of untouched materials. No joy. The old metal groans, but does not budge. You run your hand along the darkened gap and discover a small metal latch linking the 2 units together. An anti-tip system. That explains it. You disengage the lock on this shelf. The old shelving unit groans like a wounded bovine, but still refuses to budge. There must be another latch on the opposite side. The job's only half done. The control panel hums in the corner, low and constant. You approach shelves B and Cern's flashlight. You approach shelves B and you pop a small hatch open and slip your hands into the warm cavity. Inside, a motor sits exposed, humming lightly. Nice. The rail bus connector links every shelf here via the tracks. Force them into maintenance mode and their contents are yours. Go ahead. Tinkerer's choice. You hook your thumb under the release tab's plastic lip and pull. The connector slides out with a dry scrape. By your feet, the rails crackle. You take a breath and push the connector back in. Around you, motors begin humming in unison. Unseen locking mechanisms come undone. The shelf slowly moves along the rails. As it settles into place, its neighbor follows suit, clearing the way. The sound of grinding metal echoes throughout the silo, rising and expanding like the tolling of a great gong. Much louder than you were expecting. Applause yours. You approach the open shelving units. Newly disturbed dust hangs in the air. The shelf is thick with nearly identical records. Special plastic binders, meant to contain paper records and disc-based media. Your fingers race across the files, already expert at this. You take a mustard yellow record from the shelves. The reference ID HKT-04/17-E looks back at you. Inside, you find a single sheet of paper is neatly folded and affixed to the disc with a rubber band. And yet the old spy's words were true. The rubber band is brittle and dry. It practically dissolves as you pull the paper free. The text reads, Summary of Contents, Transmissions from Satellite Autonomia, 16 Decatur 77. Under additional comments, someone has added, all contact C-17 deck, crew presumed lost, refer inquiries to redacted. So the trail ends here. Its casing is yellow, the disc inside nearly white. It's not like any other you've encountered. This is a U-matic. While the form factor's the same as any modern disc, the encoding method is entirely different. Your part in this exchange is done. The null entity had better come through. It will be a relief to get out of this place. There is nothing more for you. The control unit idles in its cradle. Light softened to a tired glow. No reason to fiddle with it at this point. Thank you for your service. It all happens in milliseconds. A sharp blow to your elbow, the flashlight flying out of your grasp. The inverse flash of sudden blackness. An instant of sheer confusion before the panic can kick in. In an instant, all the air in your lungs evacuates. Only then do you realize something has struck you with great violence. No air comes through. Vacuum sealed. Your airways convulse feebly. Breathless, sightless, caught off guard. You're going to die. Suddenly, you feel the weight of another body on your back. Someone straddles you, and a pair of strong hands begin to roughly pat you down.
Where is it? Where's the disc?
Hold on. That sound. Was that crinkling paper?
Somewhere here. It has to be. He said it would be.
It's the metal stripper, the one who urged you to come down here.
That's it. Stay nice and still, you foolish woman. Yes, nice and... Where?
You feel a tug as she begins to pull something from your pocket.
Not stealing. This isn't yours. No, it isn't.
Suddenly, the weight upon you disappears as your opponent dismounts you. She's getting up. After her. You bound to your feet, but immediately crash into some hard object. The footsteps patter away into the darkness. Either she can see in the dark, or she's got every inch of the terrain memorized. All right, gang, just breathe. Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. You take a quick mental and physical inventory. Body, no major injuries, though you've sustained quite a beating. You have just been caught off your guard and mugged by an insane woman at the bottom of an abandoned silo. You'll need some time to process this. The room is empty. Your assailant is nothing more than the clanging echo of her steps on the metal stairs above you. Insane, maybe, but not random. Whatever she was looking for, she found and took. You pat yourself down and look through your pockets. Only one object is missing. The red disc you found on Pseudopod's body. There are no common muggers at the bottom of abandoned rocket silos. This was targeted. If so, that possibility is no less unnerving. Several people know you had the red disc. No one knew about that space disc. Something slippery and muscular squirms uneasily in your gut. She left something behind. Look. It's a paper bag, somewhat wrinkled from your attacks, with a rectangular aperture like a mailbox slit cut into it as an eye hole. The metal stripper kept talking about him. A deranged fan, or a representative. At least you have a lead, of some kind. You should return to the surface, operant. You have questions that need answering.
Cascade, you can see me?
Your former double gazes at you, stooped and slightly twisted. Of them all, he was the one you least expected to ever see again. His hair looks like it exploded.
Okay, you can definitely see me. That's less than ideal. You could have been anyone. I've put a lot of time into psychogenic translucency. Yet another attempted dismantling by they. Predictable.
He takes you in with a blank expression. Deceptively blank. Just behind his perfect memory ticks and whirs like ancient clockwork.
Thanks for enduring the stares. I'm aware they're significant. I'm glad my facts reached you. I assume you destroyed it post-reading? You didn't receive my dispatch? So, as we stand here talking, there is currently a sensitive Miho communique abandoned in the receiver tray of Photo 24's public fax machine.
How did he know you were there?
Cognitively enhanced stagecraft.
The dark arts of the opera's Remembrancer division. Much storied, often unsuccessful. Your former double stares blankly at you.
I forget nothing. It said one thing. If you didn't get that fax, what are you doing down here?
A laser beam of suspicion.
Then you've descended too far. Unless you're referring to my memory. I'm going to trust you, Cascade, but I don't like repeating myself. My message read, Cascade, possess information, brackets, critical, close brackets. Go all the way down, Miho. Which, I believe, catches us up to the now. The dreaming glass already mid-tilt. It's good to see you, by the way.
A brief grin irradiates his pale face.
Interesting. Do you intend to detonate it now? I'll take you at your word. It seems you have the upper hand, Cascade. Let's see. This is a directional explosive device from the Operant Bureau. Did they ask you to deliver this to me? Interesting. During the late 50s, the Operant Bureau became obsessed with sound-triggered explosives. This one's directional, intended for assassination, not terrorism.
I command you to detonate, little Bomchka.
No, you'd need a consistent frequency. A recording of some kind, ideally a high-pitched tone inaudible to human ear. As I just said, ideally a high-pitched tone inaudible to the human ear, but yes, a song would also suffice. If you had the song beforehand, played a specific part of it backwards to wind the trigger, then played the song normally, the sound would phase and trigger the detonation. You're still functioning, Cascade. Why not this little guy, too? Directional bombs often do, one way or another. You're still functioning, Cascade. Biologically speaking, everything within you is on the decline, but as I said, still functioning. Plenty to celebrate. You're still functioning, Cascade. It just wants to fulfill its purpose. Don't hold that against it. You're welcome, Cascade. Stick to quiet places while you're carrying that thing. Libraries, research labs, silos. a while.
There is a new mutedness to him, and new shadows too.
It's just a short-term arrangement. Joylessly. I also considered suicide, but, you know, the sixth type of ambiguity is my least favorite.
Sixth type. Something really, 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 really ambiguous.
A statement signifies nothing, which forces the reader to invent their own meaning, likely at odds with the author's intent, if indeed intent was present in the first place. It is very good to see you, Cascade. Much too busy getting in.
His skin has the color and consistency of chalk.
Why? How long has it been since the fallout? 6 months?
His infallible recall must distort time. With every memory the same weight, they become the unit of measurement. And down here, he's not making many new ones.
Is that so? I have been gravely preoccupied. This. I had to escape the Weeping Eye's blast radius, so I reckoned with our dismantling by going silo solo.
A ghost in the system.
I tried. That telephonic archnarch gave me radio silence in return.
Whoa, 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 easy. That nickname is offensive and unapproved.
You'd have to ask her, and then assume the opposite of whatever she tells you. Abortive dreams of space conquest. That's about it. But all entry points are monitored, if that's what you mean. I have the description of every individual who has made it down here since my arrival. The stairs are often deemed too long by those short of volition. The sheer tedium of reaching the bottom outdoes other, far more expensive security measures. Look around you, Cascade. Not many catch-ups going on 200 feet sub terra. Interesting persona, and in its own way, appropriate. Siding with the enemy. Inevitable for someone like her. I can only imagine she's also gone full war crime denier. I can. I always thought Estoc carried an undercurrent of primal sexuality within her. Barely domesticated. Irresistible to some. I was always able to control myself, of course. Far be it from me to lose my mind over an erotically charged older woman, especially a fellow colleague. An asset, no less.
Fuck us. He's been down there a long time.
Or maybe that's what he wants you to think. He's a cop, so inherently untrustworthy by nature. You may recall I objected to bringing a cop on board in the first place. Torture. Unfortunate and concerning. What I'm hearing is that she should now be considered a potential enemy asset. She's young, Cascade, and malleable. You always were too naive when it came to kindred. That is quite the something, yes. The specifics are irrelevant. You've been sniffing the opera's glue again, Cascade.
Solvent abuse allegation. Unsubstantiated. Hostile.
They've got you on a new assignment already. I can practically smell your singed ion channels. And you didn't think to question this. I apologize for being dismissive yet accurate. Why have you accepted this almost certainly doom-sealed assignment from the Operant Bureau? Good luck with that one, Cascade. The cosmic point. My own loyalty to the opera is irretrievable. I wrote a thesis on this exact subject, actually. You should read it.
He rummages briefly, then produces a formidable stack of jaundiced paper, the size of a small cat's coffin.
862 pages. Not an endeavor for the faint of mind. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I feel good about the font. 10-point sonatine. I went back and forth on the font, but the font was well chosen. It has 3.
And he can't wait to tell you.
Opera Furiosa, a close reading of the Operant Bureau and its contradictions, or Strewn in Constellation, Second Thoughts on the Collective Frontier. The third title is cipher encrypted. Don't worry, the rest is plain text. As you've probably gathered from its aura, this is a thermobaric-grade explosive document. Do not let it fall into the hands of its very subject. I don't care for meta-texts. Whatever gave you that idea? "862 pages of beclowning. True, I will never again work for the opera, but I would be open to an interdepartmental collaboration between the opera and Miho. I don't know, Cascade. You tell me. All I have is some critical information to hand that you have yet to ask me about. Information critical. I've discovered who betrayed our whole sick crew.
You hear his words, then unhear them. Old wounds split open within your mind. Are you between crosshairs? What have you missed? What has the other not missed? And the last question, always the last. How much of the world is in on it?
All too real. All too late.
He closes his eyes and tilts his head, as if in pain.
You? Cascade. Enough with this masters in martyrology. The thought never even crossed my mind.
Such crucial information should have been conveyed directly to the Operant Bureau. Something is out of step. Absolute conviction behind his words. This is no bluff or bait.
I'm eager to delve into the specifics of who turned us to searing dust, but can't commence an intra-agency collab without defined terms.
Intra-agency? But there's only one agency. The one you both work for.
You joining Miho, and Miho riding Shadow Shotgun with the Operant Bureau.
He keeps mentioning this Miho thing. Ominous.
Monaxial intelligence and hermetic operations. Miho is a brand new counterintelligence agency, one devoted to the pursuit of absolute reality through supracognitive espionage. No lies, net zero deception. Imagine it, Cascade. The world as it is, disreflected. Not remotely.
He's taking this seriously. You should too.
Really? I thought... Anyway, yes. Great. From the Operant Bureau's grimoire. Advanced is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. They should drop that, and maybe drop the cognitive part too while they're at it. I mean, come on, Cascade, it's the opera. But sure, do tell. I presume you mean you blended in? Not that you engaged full invisibility? Nice. Good for you, Cascade. I suppose I am forced to take you at your word. You used it on Estoc? Playing the victim, as you often do with all incidents Estoc. New silo rule. No more advanced cognitive maneuvers on former allies, or else I'll be forced to cognitively defend myself. Miho will certainly take it into account. Miho will certainly take it into account. You are speaking with its director, yes. Due to security and communication concerns, Miho's director is also its sole representative.
Miho is gangless. Front of the bus. No friends. A one-man intelligence agency. Typical remembrance her histrionics.
Just me. For now. It's a practicality. How do you mean? Well, to be honest, Cascade, Miho's development, while advanced, has stalled somewhat. But maybe that's why you've appeared. The H stands for hermetic, as I said. Also, I do not recognize Herschel as a standalone entity. I concur. By and large, I'm still a subscriber, but far from a true believer. I saw something in it once. It had a glow. Then it lost it somewhere along the way. The end of history. Yes, I'm familiar. That makes sense to me now, for what it's worth. History is not a linear march of fastidiously checked events. It is a fiction, edited and spliced by quick hands in back rooms. Better to end it. Roll credits, then smash the projector. Because we're spies. We can't change anything anyway. I was let in unawares, seduced by communist hermeneutics. Let me put it like this. I wouldn't be who I am if I hadn't once been a communist. But now that I am who I am, I can never be one again. Please make them...
Your former double stares at you and lifts his eyebrows slightly. A long time passes.
It's an acronym? Very good. Acronyms are important. A poor acronym can single-handedly ruin a legitimate operation. That was very much front of mind during the concepting phase. Genuinely the worst acronym I've ever heard was FLEG. Say it. Actually, don't say it. No one needs to ever say it again. I concur. Excellent idea, Cascade. Miho would assist you in completing the assignment, while you would join Miho as the agency's first special asset, Liminal Class.
A shocking demotion. Rung number 1 on the ladder of being.
I would act as assignment lead for Miho, you would act as assignment lead for the opera, and therefore assignment lead for the assignment. We will never once speak of our collaboration. Of course. Then our two agencies can freely share any self-hold information.
Your former double looks beyond you and goes completely still for a long moment.
Likely the assassination of a major political figure. Lucian, I would venture, one of their photocopied ministers. But I've already said too much.
Is he engaging in advanced cognitive maneuvers right now?
Good thing I brought all my chips. There is my proposition. An interdepartmental collaboration. You join Miho as a temporary asset. Miho lends its full force to the opera.
Temporary asset? He has lost his mind. There is nothing temporary about Opera and Cascade.
Okay, glad you're on board, Cascade, but what you just said there, that series of words can never be uttered again. Never again. We're almost set. Of course, we can't kick off collaboration with our base of operations in such a state.
It seems largely fine.
So, here's my first directive, Special Asset. Get cleaning. I did not create the tyranny of hierarchy, Cascade, but I remain oppressed by it.
It's not even messy.
I can barely hear you above all this mess, Cascade. As I said, impossible to commence operations within the current state of affairs. Oversee. My take is that it's clearly not a conspiracy, just a barely concealed truth. Then don't be, Cascade. I'm sure Luz doesn't want anyone sold on it, if they can help it. Or, more correctly, if he can help it. In your own time, Cascade. I don't know, Cascade. It still looks...
He didn't choose this. If he had his way, he'd be 10 books deep in a dusty library. Someone must have ushered him in.
Of course. Plucked straight out of my college days. I studied modern languages initially, but swiftly some claimed alarmingly swiftly, pivoted to new criticism in my second term. I soon became involved with the socialist poetry magazine Playoffs as a regular contributor. The editor was a woman I admired quite a lot.
There, how it so often goes. The emotional spell cast as ideology.
Gifted, curious, persuasive. This editor was a communist, and upfront about it. What she was less upfront about was her covert role as an opera talent scout. She was well-versed in socialist hermeneutics, the literary application of materialism, and I was very young, very malleable, and very keen to close read the world. So eventually I dropped out of college and followed her to the superblock. And slowly, too slowly, realized that communists don't believe the world can or should change. And if you cannot change it, Cascade, then interpreting it holds no meaning.
He skipped over the part where he followed this woman to another country.
When I was a writer, yes. Then I became a spy. I soon learned that half the world is made up, the other half is a fabrication, and neither side seems able to keep their story straight. Dialvi.
Odd cadence. He hasn't said that name in a long time.
Define thing. She was attractive, certainly. Of course she was. But I was in it for the intellectual stimulation.
His perfect memory is failing him here. Right at this critical moment, he followed his heart and dragged his mind along behind it.
I saw her again once, in Novessa, March '91. Just before we left for Portofino, by coincidence. Although there is, of course, no such thing. No, she didn't even recognize me. And I didn't even bother to correct her. I felt nothing, Cascade, for the world or for the cause.
Or for her.
But I have many happy memories of more idealistic times, and for those, I owe her a lot. In your own time, Cascade.
A dark patch of glistening mold curls out from the base of the far wall. Damp, slightly raised, almost fuzzy, like it's sweating. The mold has a vague and irregular shape, like black splotches of malignancy on an X-ray. Yellow tendrils streak across it. Slime class, if you were to guess. Educated mold guess. Not really. Nothing observable, at least. Quiet calculations, chemical negotiations, feeling the terrain. Just mold stuff. 1,000 skinny antennas. The tendrils seem to favor seams and stress lines rather than smooth concrete. Solid operant instincts. The denser part sits low, where the floor dips slightly. From there, its growths fan out and up, thinning into forking strands. Tucked into the upper corner, an old ventilation grill, square and rust-rimmed. No condensation, moisture stains or signs of dripping. Not the origin point. You unfocus your eyes and the silo reconfigures itself, not as a monument, but as geometry. Condensation trails along the cable trunk, faint warps across the ceiling panel, load stress from moisture rot, blackening around a bolted vent. Neither rust nor soot. You follow the spread backward, through cinder block and pipe, along maintenance crawl spaces and sealed corridors, beyond human reach. There's a second silo underneath this one now, soft, wet, and dreaming. You slide your screwdriver just beneath the edge of the growth. One of the thinner tendrils reflexively lifts as you nudge it. You tip the mold into a nearby container, frail as ash, then pocket the sample. This needs a specialist, or at least someone specialist adjacent. A doctor might be a good first bet. You turn away from the mold. The mold's You're in the... The mold's tendrils. This is not about cleaning. It is not even about this room. Curtains twitch at the windows. Inside, stacks of dogged dream and memory contaminate each other. You'll need a key. He wants you to find something he cannot give you. It is disguised but not hidden. So probably something like that piece of paper right there. Your former double has busied himself with a loose piece of thread on his dressing gown sleeve. If he did, he moved fast. This is not about cleaning. It is not even about this room. It is about that single slip of paper and whatever is written upon it. You turn away from the mold. It quivers as you leave. A silver brick, foil wrapped and creased with factory precision. You recognize its dull sheen and shape instantly. Beneath the word Cosmo Comeda, a grinning cosmonaut, one gloved hand giving a thumbs up, the other squeezing purple paste from a tube into their mouth. Heat stamped in pale blue, weight, pack date, and manufacturer details. A company called Lockley and Refnor. Precision engineered beyond the coasts, a triumph of international cooperation. Produced by a company called Vanguarda 79, it claims to be the food of the future. Technically, yes, due to the violent contractions of space-time. Tossed in the corners, clotted beneath furniture, dozens upon dozens of silver packs blend in the half-light. This is a man with a system, a tried and tested one. 5, to be precise, ever since the crew's blowout. You went east, he went south. Your former double glances back at you, pushes his glasses up his face, then turns away. Even though Cosmo Comeda claims to be the food of the future, small print on the packet reads, Best by Hebdomus 84, 12 years ago. He's subsisting on these alone. He found himself a little world, newly terraformed, all his and no one else's. And the Operant Bureau forgets by design, especially in the aftermath of catastrophic collapse, as the theatre report called your last outing. There's enough in this box for a month of austere survival. You pocket the freeze-dried rations.
Please, help yourself, Cascade.
A typed page lies upside down in a stack of similarly formatted files. The cover reads, Remote Viewing Testimonial, N28. A fringe psychic art, the ability to view an unseen place or thing via a sense beyond the standard 5. A camera of the mind. Is this how Holocene located you? At the very least, he is RV curious. Your former double catches your eye, then looks down and pats the floor with his shoe.
Good job, Cascade. Getting the hang of it.
It seems quite compelling. A 56-year-old woman was partnered with a trusted friend as a target selector. She then described the site of a decade-old plane crash in great detail, while her friend was physically present at the location, 2,000 miles away. Unprompted, she also gave specific, accurate descriptions of the aviation accident itself. The testimony is light on cause, but it involved the collision of 3 separate aircraft. 2 passenger airliners and a military jet. Exceeding bank angle, increasing engine noise. Exceeded, not enough. Calm, calm. This is it. Oh, please, God, oh no, I can't see. 1644.54. It feels like 1,000 eyes are on you as you step back. A sheet of thick paper lies on the floor, folded in half and partially covered by shadow. Impossible consonant clusters assault your mind's ear. A cipher. One glance, and you know it is. Beside you, a gradual upshift in Holocene's energy. Almost certainly. Right now. Operant, please. This kind of stagecraft takes application, a methodology. You can't just dash it off. Its secrets will keep. You refold the paper and slip it into your pocket.
Well, the room situation is much improved, Cascade. Very clean. Fine job. We must not have been looking at the same room. Oh, yes. I'm afraid I can't elaborate on that right now, but please remind me to elaborate on it later. This is a case of non-elaboration, for the time being.
Your former double stares blankly at you, as if you never spoke at all.
A thorough clean will always turn up expected and completely mundane items. And coincidence is a story we tell ourselves.
Stop the ride. We want off. He runs a smoothing hand across his hair. It springs back up, even more disarrayed than before.
Miho's counter-analysis is the finest in the hemisphere, but its stagecraft is amateur at present.
Your former double rubs his neck nonchalantly and gazes at the ceiling.
I've tolerated the cardiovascular grandpa too long. I should zero him out to fortify operational security.
Holocene unfolds his dressing gown and then folds it again.
High time for another Cosmo ration. How many have I had today? It's hard to keep track sometimes as they're so delicious. You have found an answer, Cascade. Is that an answer? I sense our collaboration is already off to a strong start. Now, please, in your own time, get out and let me enjoy my nice clean room.
With a firm hand, he motions to the silo door and stares at it, unblinking.
We'll get to all that. At this moment, I have directorial matters to attend to, preferably in solitude.
His voice is in the cipher now. Commune.
Anything else before you jog on? Go for it, Cascade. But please interact with any agency debris you've discovered far away from our operational headquarters. Miho believes in you.
Opera Furiosa, a close read-in of the Operant Bureau and its contradictions. Or, strewn in constellation, second thoughts on the collective frontier. Looming behind the cover page, a dense 800-page slab. 862. Each page a wall of dense, precise text, locked in place with academic violence. Like any serious text, it begins with an epigraph. This is the thing we built while the true visionaries were busy kicking around the future. Chairman Kivy to the Unkurt National Party Congress, seconds before committing suicide by gunshot, year 58. Strong opening hook, tonally ominous. The impenetrable block of text shows no clear way in. No stepping stones towards legibility. Black bars of redactions beset you at all sides.
Numerous lines of inquiry, all of which, however, can be distilled down to a single question. To what can we attribute the Operant Bureau's relative lack of projection power compared to agencies of a similar budget and manpower? Put simply, why is the Opera not mopping the floor with our so-called competition?
That is what the next 600 pages are dedicated to discovering. You flip a few dozen pages on and pluck out a paragraph that seems relevant.
As though seeking to remake the agency in his own image, under Twichitov's leadership, the Operant Bureau transformed into an onanistic organization. That is, one that exists solely to satisfy its own circular pleasures, chief among which are hunting for flipped assets and excommunicating its most competent operants.
Roger Klaus Twichitov, Director General of the Operant Bureau from 58 until his untimely death in 87.
Opera? More like slopera.
Ruthless critique is one thing, but that's just uncalled for. Mixing metaphors between cannibalism and masturbation, Holocene paints the picture of an Operant Bureau consuming itself via its obsession with uprooting moles. As for Operant excommunications, Holocene is a case in point.
All intrinsic to the self-propagating nature of containment mania. In layman's terms, if the Opera were a human being, a psychiatrist would diagnose them as being addicted to self-sabotage, a true master of own goals.
To master the own goal is to master the element of unpredictability.
Internal opacity, even when necessary, devolves into bureaucracy with mathematical certainty. It follows that an agency run by a being such as Twitchitov, a vision-bereft bureaucrat at heart, regardless of assent, would view ever-accumulating clearance levels, recursive encryptions, and sanctioned erasures as signs of progress. Unlike cancer, neurodegenerative disease, and rigor mortis, things that actually progress, they are, in truth and practice, portents of institutional paralysis.
Appendix B, apparently, is wholly dedicated to eviscerating Twitchitov. The text seems genuinely uncertain of what it is more interested in doing, getting to the heart of the opera's problems, or delivering the former director a literary pummeling.
A development whose terminal stage is the adversary within. That is, a psychic limbo in which the operant is forced to treat all information, even, and perhaps especially that which is opera-provided, as de facto malified, an auto-suspicious routine, a territory from which no assurance is powerful enough to rescue anything.
Distrust as a replicating sickness. Holocene is electing to keep secrets from the world, and maybe you, and possibly himself. Why would someone redact something they wrote from themselves? Big thesis, big secrets. You'd have to ask Holocene. It's clearly personal, as well as professional. Gossip hounds shamefully feasting at the esteemed director's graveside. Comrade Twitchitov was a shining example of probity and discretion. You land on a chapter titled The Torrent of One, Reflections on Function and Fall. Torrent kind of sounds like... This section, spanning 20-odd pages, drills down, focusing on a single operand. Holocene considers the career, decisions, and strategic patterns of Operant C. Your skin prickles, caused by sudden static.
Over their career, Operant, henceforth known as Operant C, demonstrated an innate faculty for the craft and tremendous capacity for leadership. Accordingly, the Operant Bureau tasked them with setting up a network in...
He wrote a case study about you.
Operant C's talents, regrettably, are only matched by a tremendous capacity for self-sabotage. A chronic self-auditor, prone to bouts of guilt and melancholy, Operant C internalizes consequences drastically, at times anticipatorially, and resorts to endless confessions and apologies, insulation from the radical necessity of change. A melancholic air of permanent regret, and an insistence on taking everything upon oneself alone. But Operant C was not alone. They had people beside them. I do not wish to indict a fellow operant, but to cement a larger point, one that affects all operants. The Operant Bureau itself is to blame for what I call professional deformations. This claim does not absolve Operant X as such. One's psyche is their own responsibility ultimately, but it does indicate that the opera can't and won't do the work for you.
The work to care for yourself, even and especially when no one else does.
The ideal agency, one worthy of trust, could amplify competence and care for ailing pathologies. But here, what starts as aptitude or temperament quickly curdles. Let us give the opera credit where due, as it has mastered something, after all, producing the long-term casualties that prop up its own structural monstrosity.
It folds shut with... The weight of the thesis threatens. You synthesize what you were able to absorb from 600 odd pages in a few glances. Taking into account its size and manpower, the opera should be a bigger player on the world stage.
The Operant Bureau shuffles along on its rusted treadwheel, shotgun perma-pressed to foot.
If it is not a bigger player, he argues, it is because the agency is trapped in a process of which Holocene's own progressive isolation is a microcosm.
To ask why the Operant Bureau exists at all is to ask the same of the superblock, and to confront our place within it. A constellation of intents, betrayals, and ideals, the whole of which can never be witnessed. What would a star ever know of its own constellation? Or remember of it, given that most constellations are formed from stars long dead?
It reads like he's mourning. The task is diagnosis, not treatment. Your eyes linger on a phrase from close to the end of the monograph.
Ultimately, the cruel irony of infinite mutual distrust being the fundamental principle on which intelligence agencies are founded should be evident to the intelligent reader.
An endless spiral of mirrors, all facing inwards, none of them reflecting the world. That assumption is part of what he is questioning. It is not trust he is looking for, but a shared ground, some foothold in the undeniable to which he can cling amidst all the lies. The thesis makes no mention of Miho, or what Holocene hopes it will achieve. At heart, he is a poet spy. He holds curiosity for the world and its layers, even if it has been deeply corroded by intelligence work. The conclusion spans 40-odd pages, a heavily redacted maze of paragraphs, diagrams, schematics, and footnotes. Its opening lines read,
The opera's failings traced herein are unforgivable. Yet, what of the state that birthed it? What of the individuals that animated?
On paper, Holocene frames this as expanding the scope, not uncommon in scholarly works. A convenient framing, allowing him to foment his own distrust at, apparently, everything.
The People's Republics dream of a kinder world. The opera dreams of revealing it. The operant dreams of dreams. All fantasies in waiting, yet to be given memory.
With that, the thesis ends. It folds shut without protest. The block of aggressively unintelligible text covers the sheet you picked up from Holocene's floor. Through it, a shadow text is threaded, one which may rise to legibility at any moment. The text remains as impossible as you found it. This is an entirely different beast than the Rosetta Cipher pseudopod left you. Tongue currently distended and mute, though you do possess conversational cipher, if you care to remember your training. An elite art form, a lesson from the old school of espionage, though now sadly half obsolete in the face of ever-improving code-breaking machinery. Most ciphers are substitution ciphers, solvable with a single keyword or phrase. If you have it, you're set. If you don't, you need procedures. Bigrams, trigrams, character frequency, index of coincidence analysis, tables, and more tables. More than you can possibly imagine. Certain letters appear a lot more than others in any given language, both alone and in pairs. Knowing which and spotting them as patterns, even when the letters are encrypted, is the most basic tenet of code breaking. Index of coincidence, the mother skill of all would-be code crackers. It's a more specific way of measuring randomness than just counting letters. If a keyword has been used to create a polyalphabetic cipher, then comparing indices of coincidence across variously sized samples of letters will tell you how many letters are in the keyword. There is no getting it, in theory, only doing. Then, codebreaker, you are fucked. The cipher wants to give up its secrets. It is screaming them at you. You just don't have the ears to hear. Yet. Many cryptologists have resigned to the same. It never works. Gauntlet has hit the ground. Cascade is nothing if she is not brute force. The text remains as impossible as you found it. 26 times you move through the document, tallying robotically. You fall into the rhythm of it. The instances of each letter jump into your eye one by one as you move through the text. The letters that appear most often are H and T, with 18 occurrences each. Take H as an example. In a text with 291 characters, that's about 7%, which is more than double the number you would expect to get if it were entirely random. 1/26th, or roughly 3%. But also only half the rate at which the most frequent letter, E, appears in the regular alphabet. It is not in any case a series of random letters. That much is clear. It is a coherent message hidden within incoherency. The cipher wavers like a mirage, a madman's shopping list, equal parts banality and wonder. 3 bigrams appear 3 times: NG, JG, and YX. You know from counting the letters that it's unlikely to be this simple, but it's worth a shot. No set of 3 letters appears more than once. Dead end. Combined with your character analysis, this proves that parts of the text at least retain their internal structure. On the page, the letters gibber insanely, crying NG, JG, YX. It's divided into 23 blocks, each between 1 and 25 characters long. 1, 14, 9, 3, 5. You try grouping the numbers together. 1 degree, 41 minutes, no gibberish. The fact that it starts with a 1-digit number precludes this possibility. You begin to pencil down the correspondence of each number. N, I, C, E. T, R. Chills run through you as the letters begin to spell out a plausible message. Nice try, salutations, me-ho. Each standard code-breaking procedure you apply yields only another veil. Steady yourself. You've slipped deeper into the game. The letters spin fervorishly. You begin the laborious task of rewriting the cipher over and over again in spreadsheets with different numbers of columns. 4 columns, 5 columns. The caged letters and numbers proliferate, a bureaucrat's wet dream. A piece of paper and a notebook is all you need to go insane. The rose bore a hole somewhere in the center of your forehead. 4 columns, 0.35. Sub-random. 5 columns, 0.4. 6 columns, 0.45. Your attention span buckles and cracks under the strain. 8 columns, 0.67. There's an undeniable spike in coincidences when you arrange the code in sets of 8. You are looking at a polyalphabetic cipher with an 8-letter keyword. 8 letters to be found, 8 numerical displacements, and the cipher is solved. 2 parts grunt work, 1 part intuition. Find the keyword. Prepare body and mind for hours of fun. The opera have a machine dedicated to this. If you want to capitulate, just take it to your controller and make it her problem. You fold the sheet. Holocene cipher unfolds its The discs of your internal code-breaking machine gyrate as you try out different pairs of letters for each of the 8 columns. Every once in a while, one clicks into place, and recognizable pairs of letters emerge across the text. A momentum is gained. Every new discovery facilitates the others. The letters give themselves up one by one, a series of little surrenders. As the bags grew heavy with his blood, he was reminded of a belief he had harbored as a child when upon being told that the human body held 5 pints of blood. He had understood this to mean for your whole life and had grown up with a secret terror of scratches and cuts that he could not believe was not universal. Emphatically not accomplished via meditation. You have transcended to a rarefied realm of language shared by exactly one other person. The beauty of ciphers. It induced a pleasant torpor in him to watch the hose stiffen as his blood filled it, raising itself like the hackles on a frightened animal. Suddenly, however, he detected a sensation at first unexpected, then terrifying. Counterflow. A portion of his blood was swimming upstream, a swarm of red-black clotted eels trying desperately to remain inside of him. A memory is knocked loose. It's a scene from Holocene's favourite novel, a science fiction offering with elements of horror. It's almost as if Holocene knew you would cross its path. The answer is in the book. The text was only part of the cipher, the meta layer. Oh, look. A fresh rung on the abject mental illness ladder. Down we go. It induced a pleasant torpor in him to watch the hose stiffen as his blood filled it, raising itself like the hackles on a frightened animal. Suddenly, however, he detected a sensation at first unexpected, then terrifying. Counterflow. A portion of his blood was swimming upstream, a swarm of red-black clotted eels trying desperately to remain inside of him. Eerily familiar now, the text almost recites itself. You put the cipher away with the feeling of having bested a mighty foe. For now, at least.
Bud. You look a bit pale, Bud. What happened? Quite the heavy load for a staircase. But then again... You've humored me enough, Bud. I'll spare you my ramblings. I'm just sorry the stairs didn't work for you. Why, yes, just now. A lady came barreling past, almost missed her. She was speedy, intense form. A thief. Oh, that's terrible. Had I known, I'd have tripped her clean. And with the pace she was going, I doubt you'll catch up to her. I'm sorry, Bud. She's one of them scrappers. You can tell by the non-ergonomic rags. Poor things usually gathering copper out front, muttering to herself. No, that mad dash for the exit's the first time I've seen her inside the silo, in fact. There's plenty of side entrances and emergency exits, I'm sure. Not that I've explored them myself, but a curious soul would. Well, yes. What other kind is there? No, she looked human to me. Well, I didn't get a good look, but I have to assume 0. I hope you didn't hit your head on the way up, bud. Good luck catching her, bud. Keep you moving. Hey, bud.
His silly theory isn't about you or him. It's about places. Places like this one, shaped by history.
Most of them are. It's just more palpable here. You know, I've been wondering if places hold on to things. Not like we do, but like bodies.
The sound of boots, the warmth of people, and a simple, stupid, stubborn hope.
This silo's been through a lot, hasn't it? Got its own muscle memory, bruises, scars, and aches. Built with hopes, dreams, and purpose. And then...
a violent burst, followed by a great hollowing out, leaving only silence. Is it any wonder such a place would still reverberate?
Wouldn't be surprised if it outlasts us both. I hope the stairs won't stop you from coming back, bud. I've been thinking of starting my own exercise group, you know. Get some people in here, give the place a bit of purpose again. Keep you moving, you'll be fine. We'll all be fine.
Ahead, the electric hum and rhythmic clatter of an... You catch the next aero tram back towards civilization.
Approaching. Tram 2, Ortiale, departing.
A single sheet of paper lies in the tray. At the top of the page is a header next to a grayscale logo you can't make out. Portofiro Cosmonautics and Space Exploration, Payload and Ballistics. Silo 1, Sublevel 4, Pete Ultract Portofiro. Cascade, Possess Information, Critical. Go all the way down. Miho. A fax sent by Holocene. Potentially compromised. Best get rid of it. Miho is aesthetically compromised. Destroy all traces of that awful, awful acronym. You make short work of the cheap paper. Soon the sheet is a sodden ball of matter between your teeth. You swallow it down in one go, taking any secrets with you. You turn away from the fax machine.
I'll print. I'll be here if...
The bed welcomes you. The stillness of the room quietens your mind as you settle down. An old bench, marks to be revealed. You settle in one. Before long, you step. You pick up the payphone's handset. The dolphin doesn't poke back, but it might consider it. You step away.
Hey, Hirsch.
Carolina still looks gaunt and tired, but animated. There is an excitement to her movements, a flush to her cheeks.
Weird. Like I'm on the wrong planet. I keep trying to control things with my mind, like I'm still in the machine. And I'm dreaming again, I think.
Or even making them real.
I saw a man in a tent filled with smoke. There were soldiers or hunters gathered around him with spears. He was chanting, like a star shaman. No, this was way older. People were wearing furs. The tent was lit by flame in a pit. He threw what looked like dice onto the ground, but when he picked them up, I saw they were bones, each side carved with the rune script, just like I use. I didn't understand anything that they were saying, but they didn't like whatever the bones told them. It was like they'd been sentenced to death.
She's trying to seem detached, but she's clearly disturbed.
Probably nothing. I don't know. It was so vivid that it's difficult not to look for meaning, but it would be like convincing yourself you're hearing words in a cooling fan, right? Guess so. The bartender's nice. It's been a while since I was out and around new people. hasn't been locking me up, Hirsch. I like it back there with my machine, and he made it comfortable. I miss it. I could be tinkering right now.
Stupid assignment getting in the way of the real shit.
Sketching out some ideas in my head, though. Something to look forward to when we come back. No. Nobody? I trust you. I'll follow your lead. Yeah, thanks. I know he acts like a dickhead, but he's just playing a character. Nestor's son. I won't miss that, but I will miss him. I don't really want to talk about it, Hirsch. Haven't slept since you last asked. See you.
Operant, you look like you've been put through a shit extruder. Even worse, you seem to have made the local news.
The old spy jabs his cigarette in the direction of a nearby television.
Subcommandante Bagman has secured a tremendous victory for the bold partisans of the realm, seized from an iodine-deficient pawn of the so-called Operant Bureau.
Seems the mental sewage you've been mucking around in has finally overflowed the toilet. He's been repeating this inane message at the top and bottom of every hour.
A small comfort. He did not address you by name.
From the depths of the Beetle Tract, a metaphysical superweapon, the likes of which our enemies are utterly unprepared for.
He takes a small object from his coat pocket and waves it around. It's hard to make out except for an unmistakable flash of red light.
Rather pleased with himself, wouldn't you say?
If you're capable of facing your reality situation directly, stay tuned. Now let's take some calls from you, dear viewers.
The Subcommandante's metaphysical superweapon is useless. Unless... Could it be he's found a way to reconstruct the red disc?
But let's set side things aside. Did you find what we're looking for? Bond? And what wonders awaited you inside?
He raises his brow and tilts his head forward slightly. Continue, he's saying.
Why don't we put our heads together, see what we can come up with? Out of curiosity, while you were slumming it in the dark, sexy tunnel, did you come across any references to the Polytechnic University of Trefe? The eminent Dr. Juno Avres-Danyak, captain of the glue-sniffing wing of the Trefe School, so I'm told. Controversial individual. Lots of miscarried ideas about the origins of consciousness. Their standard Trefe thesis holds that consciousness is itself nothing but a thin border, and only recently erected, evolutionary speaking. Lots of competing explanations, take your pick. Some hold that we were simply like other mammals, driven by unconscious instinct, just on a more complex dimension. That's your so-called conservative wing. If you read their output, which I don't necessarily recommend, you'll find it's built on some esoteric interpretations of ancient poetry, old Capoblancan burial practices, that sort of thing. Freaky stuff, according to most. Then you have the so-called astrologists, more dippy types, arguing that we used to receive orders directly from the stars, puppets of the void and things like it. His own, the glue-sniffing wing, he thought the astrologists got it half right. It's not the stars talking to us, it's our distant progenitors. Meaning we were once part of a single universal consciousness, galaxy spanning, as he had it. All minds threaded together, knowing and feeling as one. Personally, I think it's got to do with the origins of writing. Been downhill since we started keeping records of things. Terrible stagecraft, what it comes down to. From there, we got notions of linear time, then narrative and history. Since then, it's been one rolling catastrophe after another. In Straniak's telling, consciousness is the mind's effort to simulate that lost interconnection. True, that order of things appears to be breaking down. Even worse, whatever's meant to follow has yet to emerge. So here we remain, in the valley of grotesques and prototypes. That most people possess even a somewhat coherent picture of themselves is a credit to the mind's ability to hide from itself the irreducible truth.
La, la, la. What's the old man on about? You can't hear anything.
Once you've heard it in your own voice, it becomes hard to deny. Always thought it was rather melancholic myself. Everyone watching their own personal picture show. No way to know if the person in the bed next to you is seeing the same show or not. One's got to ease off the schnapps before he starts doubting the whole human project. Yeah, makes sense. And presumably his crewmates aboard this oh-so-secret satellite weren't just up there watching the tide roll away, turning their minds into what he thought were always meant to be. Exquisitely sensitive instruments, made to detect signals nothing else in creation can.
Collapsing the mind's conscious defenses in order to channel raw cosmos into human language.
Easy that way, I imagine. Maybe more merciful as well. If it occurred within the developed world, it surely would have been. Unfortunately for Dr. Straniak's subjects, it occurred 400,000 kilometers above it. But did it work, Operand? Did it work? And don't tell me that's all, Operand. I'm getting that iron taste on my tongue. There's more. And you got it.
Board tilting, your favor.
Come on, Operand. Have you got the disc or not? Pneumatic. Not many things play this anymore. Old format.
Lightly, like an artifact he's both drawn to and afraid of. Oh God, it's another stairs-related task coming on.
Fortunately, I'm an old format myself.
He pops the front panel off his box with a heavy plastic clunk, nearly hidden among the skein of tubes, pumps and wiring. A built-in disc changer.
Still leaves a matter of venue. Much as I like this place for the ambience, doesn't entirely suit our purposes, I think. You know how men get after a certain age. Can't throw anything away. I think yours should do fine. If we have any outstanding business, we should settle it now. Hard to predict what will happen once we spin this thing up. Meets upper standards, I presume. Free of listening devices, comes with a housekeeper. Safest place in Kizak, most likely. Bon, let's go.
The yellow disc slots into the disc changer with a soft click.
On your mark, upper hand.
A click, a fog of static, a whoosh of blood between your ears, a shapeless figure twisting in darkness, and then...
When at last you're consumed by the greater existence, when the border between love and terror finally dissolves, and you come face to face with the cruel age.
The old spy's face is fixed in stony concentration. He doesn't so much as look up at you.
Where is a face like you but from a dream? Then you'll know how lost you've always been in a world of false images.
Just then you become aware of another sound, coming from the old spy's heart box, one you've not heard it make before. High-pitched, dissonant, a sound that compels you to stop it. The old spy's body appears to be vibrating. His hand presses the headphone close to his ear.
Shh. Damn you.
Flickering across empty rooms. And when you pass through the door in the air and return from your brief exile. Sense and no sense. Cosmology of a dream you may have lived and may yet live again.
Meanwhile, the old spy's lips move quickly, silently. Wet, silent, like a fish behind glass.
Who waits for you? With your heart.
A blizzard of electrostatic, then nothing. Dust motes hang in the stale air, unbound stars drifting in space. The old spy removes his headphones. He turns to you.
How in God's name did you do that?
His face, vision of pale horror.
Don't dick me around. The words, you knew them. How did you know them? Those don't sound like any song I've ever heard. You, but from a dream, like the voice said. Never understood music myself. Partially tone deaf. You mind?
The old spy cups a large hand near your face as the end sparks to life. He lights his own and leans back.
But all right. So this Ultravioletta, the missing pop star, she hears it too. What you're saying? Is that right? Well played, Outbrand.
You mark a distinct change in the old spy's demeanor. Gone are the cryptic circumlocutions and knowing flourishes. For once, you're on the same page.
So our pop singer gets on humanity's enlisted frequency, cuts a new record, which lo and behold, turns out to be some sort of metaphysical superweapon, if the bag-headed individual is to be believed. You believe her? Frightened of her own artistic prowess. Perhaps she's right to be. But then how did one of these discs make its way across the wide and teeming Nuscarinta Sea to Portofino and into the stereo of your unfortunate double? Tested in theater then. Smart spy might ask what this amateur fool is doing with his hands on such a thing. Seems important.
He brushes the braid of cords aside so he can mash the remains of his cigarette against the side of his box. From the window, you can hear the sound of two people laughing out on Orphanage Street. Two teenagers on the way to the tram stop after a few hours on Party Alley. An empty bottle echoing along the paving stones.
One thing, this red disc of yours, the Einzelton. One play only, that's the deal. Now this fool with a bag on his head claims he's managed to reconstruct this disc, meaning he now possesses a weapon that can melt the minds of his unfortunate viewers or whomever else he decides to inflict it upon. Have I got that? Exactly. Exactly that. A weapon like that, in the hands of an operant with a mind to use it, could be extremely potent. Probably not. Then again, true art's rarely appreciated in its time. Unfortunately, said weapon is currently in the possession of an insane man with a popular television program. Reminds me, your thing.
Yes, what this was all about. The Grand Lich's time of arrival. It sounds so pitifully small now. Your thing.
It's a tree you're waiting on. Lucian ginkgo. Planted a long time ago. So you know, Bon. Funny thing about Lucian ginkgos, they all lose their leaves simultaneously. Genetic, supposedly. Big ritual day. Years to find out, I'd say. There's a couple of negotiators from the bank side of the table, mucking around about town. Turn one of them inside out. You'll find your answer. And now, operand, we come to our parting. Lots of new questions. Lines of inquiry. Think I may want to speak to one of these cruel angels, face to face.
Nothing facetious in his tone there.
A strong draft of both.
He takes up the heart box. His heavy frame shudders with new vitality.
I hope you get a good price, operand.
His heavy steps echo down the hall stairs and then fade.